Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Today we are going to do an after the pen for the month of April in my work planner. So let's jump right into it. I am just going to flip through my work planner for the month of April, and we're just going to talk about my spreads and how the planner worked for me, and just take a look at what my spreads look like after the pen. So let me fix the focus. Okay, so first let me remind you that I use a Happy Planner Work Plus Life hourly layout with a monthly dashboard, because that's how the Work Plus Life basically is. It's an hourly plus a monthly dashboard for half of the month. Well, I use that for my work schedule, and I do time blocking. And so I have one tab dedicated to work schedule. And then I have a second tab for each month. So in this case, I have 2 for April, 2 for May, 2 for June, example like that. The second tab is for my content planning for my small businesses. And I use a Plan vertical. So let's take a look. So this is, I believe, Plan I Love Spring, maybe seasonal, but I think it's I Love Spring sticker book. I don't ever really do much in my months. I decorate it, but I don't really go back and use it. This is just more of just for reference for me, and I do like to decorate it. I do use my dashboards. In fact, I have to have a monthly dashboard. That's a requirement for me in my planners. So I like to set this up. This was the first month that I actually used it, because I switched it to this planner like March. So yeah. Okay, so the first week I used more Plan spring stickers. My goal all year is to use as much of the supplies that I already have. So if I have a lot of spring books, I am going to use those books over and over and over until I have used them up, or as much as I can until they're basically used up. Because yeah, you know, I plan in real life. I buy these things with my own money, and so I don't have the luxury to use a book once and discard it. And so you'll see some of the same, you'll definitely see the same book represented, but you will see some of the same sets of stickers too, because I'm trying to use up everything. And in the springtime, I really focused on my seasonal books or any layouts that were like specific to spring, because, you know, then I will move on to summer and all that good stuff. So the first week I loved this. I do time blocking, as you can see, and color coding. So I block my time, and then I color code. Each color represents a different type of activity for me. And then I always use the top for my checklist for the day. I generally have a checklist each and every day. And then I generally don't come back and fill in like these spaces with journaling, because this is really just my schedule. This keeps me on track. This is the planner that I have on my desk every single day, without fail. This is my work desk. The other planners don't sit on my work desk. This one does. So then the second week, I actually used some stickers from Agenda 52, which is the brand that's carried in Hobby Lobby. These are gorgeous stickers. I saw where these bows were like trending, and so, you know, everybody was doing bows and florals, bows and stripes, bows and whatever. I'm not into bows like that. And so I was like, but what's up with all these bows, these trends for bows? And I wanted to try it. So I got this book at Hobby Lobby. It was like $5 on Hobby Lobby's 40% off sale. And I liked it. I really liked the bows in here. I've only used it once, but I really did. I really liked the bows. And so I mixed it with a couple of Plan seasonals again, because I was really trying to use that seasonal icon book, y'all. But it just didn't work. This dog just does not float with the rest of these pink bows. But I left him in here. Joe. I'm going to call him Joe. But I left him in here. As far as using this, I go in, I put my checklist. I pretty much just reference my time block, and then I check off everything as I'm supposed to do it, as I do it. So this is April 14th, the week of Easter. Again, this is all from the same book, guys. I'm pretty sure, because I'm trying to use up, those spring books. And this was a really thick spring book that I was using. But I loved them. All the stickers are beautiful. So why not use them? If you love it, use it. But yeah, went through, didn't have as much on my to-do list for this week. But, still great. So then the getting into the last week of April, the last full week, I had a lot to do. I always have a lot to do, especially with my content business, the end of the month, because I'm like planning double the videos and trying to film double the videos, and it's just really hard to try to schedule and balance everything. So the last parts of the month look a hot mess, truthfully. They're very busy. But love this pink and green layout. These are Live, Love, Posh stickers. And I just start with my to-do list and just go through the week. That's how I do it. So that was my work schedule section. So now we get into the work content planning, my small business, so to speak, side of my planning for the month of April. And I use the Kelva Plan vertical out of her 2025 seasonal. So this is a Kelva Plan divider. And then the pages, the inserts are Kelva Plan. So my monthly in my content planning section is all functional. I usually list what I'm doing each day, and then I color code it. This did not work for me in April, and I am making a change in May. In May, and I'll just kind of show you what I'm doing in May real quick. So in April, I just wrote everything down at the beginning of the month. So I was supposed to post this type of video that day, and I did it all at the beginning of the month. That just didn't work. So now I've changed it so that I still use a color coding system, but I fill in the week as the week gets here. And I have a system that allows me to keep track of where I am on that video. So if it's written down, that means I've confirmed that that's the video I want to post that day. If it's highlighted, that means I've filmed it. And if I check it once, it means it's edited and maybe uploaded. And then if I checked it twice, it's ready to go. It's posted or it has been scheduled to post. So this is working for me great. I was trying to do this in my mind over here, and that's not how it turned out. But this is what it was supposed to be in the beginning, and I'm flying through it. It has kept me so much better organized. But anyway, in April, it didn't work out. So remember, this is the content side of the business. So the way I have these set up each week is the first row in the vertical, because there's 3 sections. So the first section is for everything I'm filming and editing. So if I'm filming something that day, or if I'm scheduled to film something that day, I write it down. And once I film it, I check it off. If I'm scheduled to post something that day, I write that down. Once it's posted, I check it off. And social media, I write down at the bottom, which I'm horrendous at social media. And I plan ahead. So on Sundays, I sit down and I fill out all of this for the week. And then as I do it, I come back in and I check it off. So then by the second week in April, I had decided, same approach, guys. And you can see I've made some adjustments. I decided that I wanted to journal about how I was feeling for that day or that week. So this planner now becomes a little bit of a reflection of how I'm feeling, specifically as it relates to work and my small business, because I've had some frustrations with it. And I wanted a place to really document that. And I thought coming back and documenting it in my planner would be great, because I always have a lot of open space. And I enjoyed that. I really did. So I'll keep up with it. I also started to use the sidebar just for a long to-do list, because I was realizing I still needed that in my life. And so I might as well use the sidebar. And so by the time I get to the middle of April, I'm kind of hitting my stride. I'm using the sidebar the way I want to. I'm going back in and doing some journaling. When I have open spots, I'm checking everything off. It's going really well. Yeah, liking it. The getting into the last week in April, this particular planner goes into May, but gorgeous. Loved this. I really did well on coming back and journaling. I started to use highlighted words because one thing I noticed the week before is that I was kind of struggling to identify easily where I journaled and where I was just making a list because I don't have great handwriting. And so I was like, I need to figure out a way to do that, to highlight my journaling. And I was watching other people journal in their planner, people like Planning with Bumble, just some more people, I don't remember their names, Plan on It, stuff like that. And they were using highlighted words. So I tried it in my planner and I really did like it. And so I will keep doing that. Still using my sidebar for my long lists. These are Live, Love, Posh stickers. Yeah, so the last week of the month, like I said, the Hell of a Plan planner rolls the last week into the next month. So the last week of the month was very, very busy. As I indicated, it is always a super busy time preparing for the next month. But I love this. I still came back, did more journaling, highlighted my journaling again. And yeah, this is great. This is more Live, Love, Posh. Just trying to use up all those spring stickers, you guys. So these are highly functional spreads, but after you use them, they turn out to be so beautiful. And that's why decorative planning is such a great thing. You can have highly functional spreads and still have nice looking planners. So that is what my after the pen looks like for the months. I will show you how I use my small business inserts, which are inserts that I make because I fill these out completely as well. I do these at the beginning of the month to help me prepare for the upcoming month. So this is my planning. When I sit down at the beginning of the month, I go through and I determine what videos I'm going to film for a certain week. I have it on a quad. And using the quad, I have 2 boxes for each week. 1 box is for filming, 1 box is for posting, because I'm a list person, you guys. I have to make lists. I just do. So this helps me keep all my lists in one place. And I love it. And so I do it at the beginning of the month. I complete the whole thing at the beginning of the month for every week. And I write down what I'm going to post, and then I write down what I'm going to film. And there's 2 boxes for each week. Now, sometimes things change, and I end up with a box that looks like this. I've probably whited out these things like 5 times each, because by the time I get to the end of the month, things are changing, and that last week always gets super crazy. And so you see how much change I have by the time I'm at the end of the month. It's a mess. It's a mess. But you know what? It's a working planner. It's supposed to be a mess. So, but I like seeing a planner like this because that means, baby, I'm using this planner hard. You hear me? I am using it the way I'm supposed to be using it. And if my planner doesn't look kind of like this at the end, I'm not happy with it. So I feel like I used this planner really well in April, and I'm really thrilled for that. Some changes need to be made, yes, but overall I used the planner well. So I do that at the beginning of the month. I also do my monthly video planning at the beginning of the month. And this is where I don't focus so much on what I'm filming. I just write down what needs to post when. And then if I'm doing any product releases, which I didn't have any in April, I will write that down as well. And that is it, you guys. That is After the Pen for my work planner. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a happy week planning. Thanks.